Good evening, everyone. Hari Om to all. And I welcome you all to this wonderful Sunday evening. So today's session is with Dr. Sunil Prakash ji, and who is a hypnotherapist. He is an MBA graduate from Delhi University, and he has worked in corporate office in the MIS department. During his life, he has worked for youth at various NGOs, which due to which he knows a lot of problems about youth and what they are facing right now. So this session has been conducted by Celebrating Youth Foundation, or we call it as CYF, an organization which helps youngsters to find plausible solutions for their problems. These problems range from physical to mental health and to spirituality as well, which is our specialty. We celebrate life by helping others and bringing a smile on their faces. We welcome you to be a part of our community and spread this happiness with others. So now I request Dr. Sunil ji to please carry forward the session. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Shruti, for giving a good introduction. I want this session to be very, very interactive. I'm not here to give you a small lecture and then go away. I want you to take the most benefit of this interaction that we are going to have for about an hour. And before that, I will request all of you to please put on your video so that I can just get an idea of the profile of the people who I am addressing to or who will be there in this session. Be very, very interactive. You are free to ask questions in between and take the best use of this session. That is the most important part. There will be an exercise. I will touch upon what is inner child, because everybody has gone through a child stage. I can see some mothers, some fathers, and even some children in the adulthood. More people, do you have some problem with the internet, or you don't want to show your sweet face to us, Or you are not there, you have just logged in. Fine, maybe you may be having your own reasons for that. There is no compulsion. Now, if you want, it's all up to you. You can just put off your video if you don't want to be there, or show the sweet face to us, I want you to take the benefit of it. Number one, I'm going to take you to a journey of your childhood. And when I take you to this journey of the childhood, be true to yourself. I'm not going to ask how your childhood had been. But when I take to the journey of your childhood, go back into the past memories of your childhood. Because I am going to conduct an exercise today and take the benefit of that exercise, clear the old memories of the childhood which had not been good, and replace them with the habits of your childhood. But before that, let us understand, what do we mean by inner child? Everybody has gone through a child life. You are born as a small child. When you are 0 to 2 years old, your priorities as a child are just to get food, to be cleaned, and to remain warm. That is what your priority is. That my mother should give me the food. And as you grow from 2 years onwards to 5 years, then the child wants to do things himself. or herself. His priority is that I can do it and I want to do it, don't interfere in it. And if the mothers interfere, the child becomes angry. The child shows his anxiety and the anger at that time, because understand, at that time the child is learning a lot of experiences. And when the child is learning those experiences, the child wants to do things himself or herself. So let the child do it. Why I'm saying that, now go back to your memories. You may not be remembering your memory as a 0 to 2 years, but definitely you can remember your memories from 3 to 5 years. How was your life? Who was looking after you? In our Indian scenario, mothers are always the primary caretaker at that time. Because in the Indian scenario, mother takes the responsibility of the child more, because father is busy in earning for the family and supporting the family. After 5 years, you start going to the primary school. And when you are going to the primary school, what happens? You meet your friends and you meet your teacher. Up to 5 years, your mother was your teacher. But from 5 years onwards, you get a third person who becomes your teacher. Let me go back again to the memory when there was a lot of call about junk food. When there was a call for the junk food, your mother was stopping you from eating chips or drinking Coke. You didn't listen to her. And you said, no, I am going to do it. But then the moment you went to the school and your teacher said, listen, eating chips, eating burgers, eating pizza, or taking Coke is a junk food. So that same very day you came back home and told to your mother, no junk food from today. I'm not going to take chips. I'm not going to use Coke. Why? Because my teacher has told me that they are bad for health. So your priorities, your personalities are changing now. How you be with your classmates, your friends, your new friends who have become because you have started going to the school. Your teacher has started giving you some lessons, some information, you have started taking that. There again, there is a change in your lifestyle. Certain events happen at that time. In most of the families, it has been seen that during that period, whether you are a boy or a girl, at the age of about 5 to 6 or 5 to 9, child becomes a little bubbly. And sorry, by saying that your uncles and aunts try to play with the child. This is very common. The child is not aware what is happening at that time. This play is very, very nasty. The child also feels good when somebody touches you inappropriately. And this happens with uncles and aunts when the child is between the age of 5 to 9. The child feels the pleasure. And in that pleasure, the child is also enjoying it, but the child is unaware what is happening actually at that time. He records everything. His emotions are there. And he is recording each and every emotion that is taking place. Why the child doesn't come to the mother and say, this is what happened? There are reasons for that. One, the person involved is a status person in the family. The child is also enjoying. But then, the child does not tell the mother because the child feels, firstly, the mother may not agree to it. That how can your uncle do something like this to you? How can your aunt do something like this to you? This happens both in case of boys and girls. It's not only in the girls, It happens in the boys also. When aunts try to fiddle with the body and the sensitive organs of the child. It is very, very common, not only in India, but it is very, very common all over the world. Go back to your memories. I don't want you to share, but then remember what happened with you as a child. Why I'm asking you all this is because when I'm going to do that exercise, I want you to go back to that past. And in that exercise, we are going to remove all those emotions that you had stored in your mind at that age. So from 9 onwards, when you move forward, you move towards your puberty. Usually it starts from 11 to 14. And when it starts from 11 to 14, there is always a need of the body to be in the company or explore the opposite person. Again, we in India are not given the sex education. We try to learn what is happening with us through the media of internet, through the media of books, which gives us a wrong information, and we always get wrong information. And due to that, we tend to come into wrong activities. Again, those memories are recorded in our mind. We need to be in the company of the person of the opposite sex. And if we don't get it, then we try to fiddle around and fondle with our own body. And that's where the masturbation starts, in the childhood. I do it wrongly. I do it at a wrong place. I do it in the wrong circumstances. And I don't discuss with anybody. Keep it very deep into my own body in the form of emotions, in the form of my want and need. After 14, when I start going to a higher school, again, if I happen to be in a co-ed school, I start the feeling of infatuation. And that infatuation may lead to wrong things. So, my life grows. I keep on adding on all these experiences in my life. Coming back to my age as 3, 4, 5, what is my family like? Are they too busy? Do they have time for the child or not? If they don't have time for the child, if my family does not come from a good family system, if they come from a very disturbed family system, what do I see? I see my parents fighting. When I see my parents fighting, again, since I am a small child, I am not able to speak. But I keep those imprints on my mind. And those imprints affect me when I grow old as an adult and thereafter when I try to grow in my life. These imprints give kick from the back. And at the adult age, when I'm growing and I grow, they bring about a certain set of examples and they do not allow me to grow. They give me a kick that this is bad for you, you should not do it. Because I've seen them fighting. So, 2 impressions come of that fight. One, when I'm going to become a family member, I'm not going to mistreat my children like that. But then, there is a certain set of people also. They say and they accept that what we see, that fighting going on in the family, this might be correct. This is what family is. This is what life is. And this is what am I also supposed to do it. So they adopt that habit of fighting. And when they grow and when they have their children, they also behave in the same manner with their children. So, a child, when develops into an adulthood, he has developed certain habits because what he saw in the childhood, he thought either it was good or it was bad. Both have some imprints on the mind of the child. And these imprints are going to decide my personality, what I am going to be in future, how I am going to see the world, how I am going to behave in my family, and how I am going to treat my children or the children of the other people. So these play a very important role. So what we have come to know is that my childhood plays a very, very important role in everyday life. As I grow into adulthood, as I grow into a family system, they play an important role. Number one, that conditions may continue. And now when I get married, I have lived in a certain type of an environment. And when I live in a different, when I get married, I get a partner. My partner would have lived in a different type of environment. My actions and my partner's action do not combine. And when they do not combine, since we are coming from a different type of a family system, since we are coming from a different type where we have lived in a different atmosphere, where we have picked up different habits, then the point of conflict arises there. And that point of conflict again troubles the partnership that we have developed after marriage. So now, have you gone back? Are you there? Do you remember your past? How many do you have gone back and remember your past? Let me see. Raise your hand. Good. So you have to be participative, you want to listen to what I'm just saying, Go back to your past, see how it had been, how much smacking or beating you got. What sort of an environment you have lived with your parents, Did they have time for you or didn't they have time for you? Now in childhood, when you are about 5, 6, 7, your mother. Yes, Divyansh, you were saying something?
Yes, I had at the time of second, like at the time of failure in exams, like
Your voice is not very clear, Okay, understand, let me take another example. How your personality develops. At around 5 years or 6 years, generally you're not doing anything much but sitting and playing with toys. Because you have not may have started going to a nursery school or a kindergarten school. But most of the time is being spent with the mother at the house. Now, mother is busy in some work. And when the mother is busy in some work, she doesn't want the child to disturb her because that work is important. So the mother makes an agreement with the child. If you don't disturb me for about 2 hours, then as a good child, I will give you a chocolate. Now, what can be the possibility after 2 hours when the child, in view of expectation that I'll get a chocolate, does not disturb the mother for 2 hours. 3 possibilities. 1. As per promise, the mother gives the chocolate. Right? Another point can be, the mother knows very well that I don't have a chocolate, but still had promised, because she doesn't want it to be disturbed. So, when the time comes and the child asks for the chocolate, the mother tries to make some excuse. Oh, the chocolate has finished, I'll go to the market, and when I'll go to the market, I'll get it the chocolate. That means some assurance has been given to the child to get the chocolate. Right? Third is, the mother is a perpetual excuse maker. And the child also knows. But then, the child thinks, okay, maybe next time I'll get it. Now, in these 3 cases, in the first case where the child gets a chocolate, the child knows, if I do this, this is the return I'm going to get out of it. In those cases, the child, when becomes adult, is going to develop an extrovert personality. He will be bold enough, he will take care of his own decisions, and he will be ready to move around without any fear. In the other case, the child is going to become an introvert, because he will live the life as a referential life, inferential life, always inferring that I will do it, I will get it, I may get it, I may not get it. So this is how the personality of an individual or a child is developed, and this is what you become as an adult. You don't come with a fixed personality when you come to this world. The personality is being developed here only. And when this personality is being developed here only, the primary caretaker plays the very important role in developing your personality. Now, as you grow old, from 9 onwards, you start looking towards your father. He becomes your mentor figure because he is your secondary caretaker. How? It is he who is going to finance you. It is he who is going to give you money for your pocket. He is going to make you spend money. So you start looking at the father. Now again, on the behavior of the father, your personality changes further. Your father, again, has been what kind? If your father moves around in the group, in the family, meets with everybody, even when he comes back home from the business or from his office, how does he behave with his wife? He comes, hugs his wife, sits with her, have a cup of tea, discuss what all happened. Again, that child will develop, and when he'll see that this is what is happening, the child is going to become an extrovert and continue to be an extrovert. But if the father comes, goes back to his room, doesn't speak, pick up the newspaper or open the TV, and if he takes the tea, then he takes single. That means he is not mixing with the opposite sex people in the house or even when he goes to the parties. Again, there the father sits with male members, chat with them, and does not mix with the female members in that party. The child sees that, and based on that, the child again develops an introvert type of a personality. So the personality of a child or an individual again depends on what he has seen as a behavior in the family. Personality can be changed over a period of time as you develop and as you go yourself outside, according to your circumstances, according to your environment, your personality is changing. And you have to change the personality after what is happening and what you are seeing. Suppose after your adulthood, you start going to the job. Now you have gone to the job where you have to address the gathering. But up till now in your childhood, you have been a very soul lonely person. But then the circumstances and the environment has made you so important that you have to change and address the people. You suppose you become a professor or you become a teacher, you have to address the students. So you have to be with them. When you are addressing and you have to be with them, so what happens? You have to open up. And when you open up, you are changing your personality from introvert to the extrovert. So personality is always changing and you're working towards it. But then, whether you are an extrovert or an introvert, the black points, the emotions, what happened, the black spots that you got in your childhood remain with you. You have not erased them. And they give a kick to you every now and then. And indirectly they are reminding you that this is what happened with you in the childhood. Do something towards it. We don't know, we don't realize. Because from that childhood till now, so many things have happened that these things, what happened in the childhood, get buried down. So in view of that, it is very, very important for us that we need to clear our childhood. We need to clear the emotions. Now, as I said, that in my childhood, not only bad things would have happened, good things would have also happened in my childhood. Usually, when I am 3 years old, 4 years old, or even 2 years old, parents are very, very enthusiastic to celebrate our birthdays. And when they celebrate our birthdays, what happens? We get a new dress as a child. Lot of our friends and little other children are being called for that birthday party. Lot of celebrations, Allah is there. And whatever I want, I get as a present also from my parents. Is not that a very good moment for you in your life? A moment to cherish, a moment to remember. Such moments can be, I am just giving you an example of a birthday party, but there can be other moments that might have taken place in your life. And when these moments take place in your life, then again they are recorded somewhere, which gives you good feeling of happiness. So as a child, we had moments of happiness and we had moments of sorrow, sadness. We have passed through it. And in case in any moment of an abuse in the form of a loud shout by the parents, abuse in the form of beating and hitting by the parents, abuse in the form of physical touch by somebody, or abuse in the form of some sexual activity that might have taken place, do create a very, very negative impact on us. We have not discussed that because when we were a child, we were hesitant or we were afraid to discuss that. But we spend our life with those moments. And as an adult, when we think of it, when they come to our thought process, they give us very negative impact, of which we don't even come to know that what is impacting our daily routine, what is impacting us to grow, move forward and take positive steps. So in view of that, we have got a small exercise. And I would request everybody to take the benefit of that exercise that we are going to do right now. It is a 10 minutes exercise. So, are you all ready for that? Do you want to take the benefit of it? Okay, good. So, I want you to sit comfortably wherever you are. Feel at ease. Take 3 deep breaths. When I am doing this exercise, I will ask you to visualize certain things. Certain people may not be good at visualization. If you are not able to visualize, you can just imagine that scenario. Then only you will be able to take the best benefit of this exercise. So make best use of this exercise. Relax yourself. Sit comfortably. Take 3 deep breaths. Close your eyes. Visualize your toes. Release all stress and tension from the toes. Move up to your legs. Release all stress and tension from the legs. Relax them completely. Move up to your waistline. Release all stress and tension from the waistline. Relax each and every organ, your stomach, your intestine, your kidneys, your spleen, your liver. Move up to your chest. Visualize your lungs and your heart. Relax them completely. Move up to your face. Release all stress and tension from your eyelids and your eyeballs. And more they are relaxed, they will be shut tight. And in spite of your best efforts, you will not be able to open your eyelids. Release all stress and tension from your eyelids. Relax them completely. Now I want you to visualize that you have stepped out from your house and moved into a garden that belongs to you. A beautiful garden. It's evening time. Nice cool breeze. Birds are chirping. You can see flowers, red, pink, yellow. And now visualize that there is a bench in the garden. I want you to move to the bench. And when you move to the bench, I want you to sit down and relax on the bench. And when you are relaxing on the bench, call from the higher universe your little yourself comes down as a child in the light form, energy form, and sits next to you on the bench. Visualize yourself in the child form, in the light form, in the form of an energy sitting next to you. This light form of yours has come there to take away all your negativities. Now hold the hand of this light form, and in front of you, you see a path. Walk onto this path which goes to the higher self. Along with this light form. As you walk, you find a gateway, the first gateway. This light path carries a basket, and in this basket, the light form is going to collect what you are going to put into that basket. As you cross through the first gateway, leave behind all your worries and concerns that you have into this basket. And move on, crossing the gate with the light form. Move forward. And as you move forward, now you come across the second gate. As you cross the second gate, again, in the basket, you leave behind all your beliefs that hold you back in a rigidity. Let go all the things that hold you, and you think that things should be like this. Keep everything into this basket. Your thoughts, your beliefs, which make you rigid. Release your rigidity. Put it back into the basket. You do not need it anymore. Now move forward with this young little child. Go to the third gate. And as you go to the third gate, again in the basket you are going to put your own ego, which says me. You have been saying me, and me. Put this me into this basket. You don't need to be me. Try to be we. Put your ego into this basket and release yourself from the egos that you might have, from the me's that you have. And as you move forward, you reach to the final and the fourth gate. In this fourth gate, you release all your bad memories that you had in your life. What you went through in your life. Release all these bad memories into this basket. As you release all these bad memories into the basket and you cross the gate 4. Now this is the time when you have to let this young light form of yours to move forward and you retrieve back from where you started. This life form goes to the higher self with all your negativities that you have put into this basket and takes all your negative things to the higher self, which you don't need them. So come back to the bench and sit there. This time, invite yourself as a young, bubbly child. At that moment when you had been the happiest in your life. Remember that happiest moment of your life. If there are more than one, pick up the most happiest moment you can think of. See yourself as a small little bubbly child in that happy moment. Replay that video of that moment. And now as an adult grown up, sitting there with that little you, pick up that child with your hands. Hold that child high. And bring that child next to your chest. And as you bring that child next to your chest, integrate that child within you. And this child, when will get integrated within you, will keep of reminding you that life is positive. Life is happy. Life is peaceful. Look life from this happiness. And when the child is fully integrated, enjoy those moments. Be in those moments of happiness, moving to each and every cell, every muscle of your body, and give you that happiness all throughout. For 1 minute, you will not hear my voice. And I want you to enjoy that happiness with that child, flowing from head to toe and making each and every cell, every muscle of your body happy. So now in future, whenever any sad moments will come, you will remember this happy moment. And this happy moment is going to convert that sad moment into happiness. You have integrated your own self into this happy moment. So for a few moments, you will not hear my voice. Relax yourself. And thereafter, I will take you out of this trance you have already gone into. I will count from 1 to 5. At 1, your body will try to be normal. At 2, your body will be completely normal, feeling fit and fine. At 3, all your metaphysical energies, the soul energy, the mental energy, the astral energy, the causal energy integrates back into your physical body in the room you are in. Feel the energies coming from the higher self integrating back into your physical body. 4, try to open your eyes very softly and gently. And 5, eyes wide awake. Back to this room, feeling fit and fine, fully integrated with yourself as a small bubbly child. Okay, I just open the floor for questions. There were certain people, some of you had raised hands. Divyansh was one of them, and there was one more. Still. Is everybody back? Okay, Parul, you had a wonderful experience. Would you like to share? Yes, Anish?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
It was a beautiful experience, sir. I just wanted to ask that so if a person who has been, let's say, violently abused
Yes,
in early age,
yes,
okay, so now he's carrying all that guilt in his head, but he's still confused
right.
about the whole thing, and he is trying to run away actually from the
Yeah.
same problem.
Yes,
He's not ready to face that the father had maybe abused him physically.
yes,
So he's not ready to face that fact.
yeah.
So that is why he's remaining confused all the time. So how do we tackle that, sir?
Anish, in that case, we really have to take him to a trance state,
Mhm.
and then
Right.
there we have to rework with the situation in which he had been.
Right.
And in that case, there are two ways. One, he has to really go back as a child and fight with the father when that thing was being done.
Okay. He has to fight with the
Because-
father.
Yes, because there is always in mind a rage.
Right.
Take the revenge.
which he couldn't express earlier at a
He
smaller
could
age.
express, and as a child was not able to do it because physically he was small.
Right.
So what we do in hypnotherapy is that we take him into a trance and we make him do or take his revenge whatever way he wants to take it.
Okay.
And once that revenge is taken,
Mm-hmm.
our process will completely change against his father then.
Right.
And he will
So-
not carry those guilt and those hard feelings, and he will start moving forward in his life.
Okay, sir. So he has to face the situation again and probably, but what if he is not ready to face that situation, even in the subconscious way, sir?
Then I can't help it because I can show him the way.
Right.
I will make him explain that this is what will happen, if you are able to do it.
Right.
Because he will only come to you when he has a problem.
Right.
When he wants to get rid of that problem, then only he has come. And so if he is ready to get rid of the problem, he has to face that situation.
Right, sir. Right. Thank you so much for that answer.
Somebody else has also raised the hand, I am not getting the name. Who is there? Please come forward.
Ms. Parul, please say your experience, or is there any question that you have?
I think उनका mic off है या कुछ है.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Parul.
Sir, it was a wonderful experience. I think I have reached my childhood when
Yeah.
I was a small girl wearing yellow frock
Yeah,
and I was moving around with my
Correct.
father, and it was the happiest day of my life.
okay.
And being a teacher, I think I'm going to share this information, this happiness with my children tomorrow.
So do this exercise with your children,
Sure, sir, I will do it.
Yeah, but see, there are 2, 3, 4 things, in the gateway when you're passing. The ego, the me, my worries, my rigidities, that I carry in my life, rigidity regarding religious, spiritual things, ki pani nahi peena hai, ye nahi karna hai, wo nahi karna hai. You have to change with the time. रिजिडिटी ये कि मेरे को तो सिंपल ही ड्रेस पहननी है, मेरे को तो फैशन के साथ नहीं मूव करना है. रिजिडिटी कई दफे ओसीडी इज अगेन अ क्वेश्चन ऑफ रिजिडिटी. ओसीडी जो आती है और ओसीडी जो हम सब लोगों में देखते हैं और हर एक में होती है किसी न किसी फॉर्म में, किसी में कम है, किसी में ज्यादा है. ओसीडी इज व्हाट, सपोज मेरे को क्लीनलीनेस का बहुत शौक है, मैं हर मिनट में हर चीज को क्लीन, हर चीज को एक पिन पॉइंट प्रॉपर जगह पे रखना चाहता हूं, जबकि वो इट मे नॉट बी प्रैक्टिकली पॉसिबल विद ऑल द फैमिली मेंबर्स. सो रिजिडिटी क्या हुई? आई स्टार्ट गेटिंग अनॉयड विद एवरीबॉडी. तुम ठीक से जगह पे रखते नहीं हो, तुम ये नहीं करते हो, तुम वो नहीं करते हो. कहां से आ रही है? मेरे बचपन से आ रही है. मैंने बचपन के साथ कुछ ना कुछ प्रॉब्लम हुई होगी मेरे साथ, राइट? सो आई हैव टू गेट रिड ऑफ दैट. So do this exercise with your children, they will be very happy. And definitely you will be doing a great cause to your children by making them bring about a change in your lifestyle, in their lifestyle, in their thought process. Good.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
Good. You have taken the best. Yeah, please.
Yeah, so thank you first of all. This was a beautiful session. Up to on what age group we can work with this particular meditation?
It's always preferable, don't start before 15.
Before 15 years.
That is the time when the child starts understanding certain things.
All right.
So start after 15.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And how about when you're into a relationship and you see your partner has definitely gone through a hard childhood,
Yes.
So, like, how to work on such people? I mean, some people wouldn't agree. Like, it depends upon each one. If I'm willing to help myself, I will work. But if you see in your partner, like, okay, that person needs help, but they wouldn't, are not willing to, don't believe in all these things. Like, how to work on such people?
Very difficult. We don't work, we don't work.
Okay.
Reason being, that when we are working or taking a session of a person, we always make it compulsory that the person should come and realize that he has a problem and he needs to be healed. Because if we try to force on somebody, psychologists can do it, psychologists are doing it, but again it will not work, because the other person is not going to accept the healing that we are going to provide.
Okay.
Because he doesn't feel the need of it.
Yes.
So it's very difficult. We cannot.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, somebody else, Amit?
Yes, good evening to you, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So first of all, I would like to thank you so much, Dr. Sunil, sir, for such a wonderful session. Many compliments from my side. And I would like to share my experience regarding the session.
Sure.
Like, as you were saying that you have to feel from the toes. So certainly I was feeling like weightlessness from my toes to the head, as you were saying, all the things.
Yeah.
And once when I in the trance state, I was just feeling very weightlessness and was just trying to switch that how I can give my ego again. And I was also listening about, wondering about my wonderful experiences in the childhood, like my father gave me a bike when I passed my school. So that was the most beautiful phase of my life in my childhood. So thank you for that session, to recall all the memories and to learn from it.
Yes. Usually what happens, Amit, that in today's environment, we are so engrossed in so many troubles, in so many things all around us, that all these things go down deep and buried down. जैसे आप एक वेयर हाउस में चीजें स्टैक करते हैं ना,
Yes, sir.
तो जो पहला स्टैक करा वो नीचे चला गया और जो लेटेस्ट स्टॉक आया वो ऊपर आ गया.
Correct.
तो ऊपर वाले ने नीचे वाले को दबा के रखा हुआ है, बट वो नीचे वाला कहीं ना कहीं उंगल कर रहा है मेरे को. And that is what bothers me. I don't know, I don't remember it, but yes, I can feel the effect of that emotion that is going on, which was there in my life sometime when I was a child.
Yes. Sorry to interrupt, sir. One more question is there regarding the same.
Yes.
Does the session needs to be repeated again and again? Like if you are having some more egos, some more backlogs, so
Oh yes, yes.
can be repeated?
Oh yes, yes.
Yes. Okay.
You can do it.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Okay, I think Kiran has got some question.
Okay.
I'll come
Yeah.
to you. Yeah.
Thank you so much for the lovely session. And I just wanted to ask you about the fears. Sometimes we have fears of unknown things which we don't understand ourselves. How to get rid of them? How to conquer them? I mean, that fear doesn't have any basis, but still, you just keep thinking about it, and that's holding you back. And
Kiran, do you believe in past life?
I do strongly.
You strongly believe in that?
Ji.
So when you do, when there is a thought process in you that I don't know from where that fear is coming,
Ji.
that fear is unknown.
Ji.
Definitely that fear is coming from your past life.
Oh, right. Acha, ji.
So
So
then-
how
then we
do
have
I
to-
work on that?
We have to explore your past life. You have to open up your past life,
I know. That's great. So I must come with my most precious friend Anish, Dr. Anish Diwan Gopal. I'll come.
You go to Anish. He is a very good therapist, Without
I
any
know.
hesitation, you can go to him.
He's just so dear and so he's my uni friend. I don't think I can be that serious where I can just sit down and listen to him. So I probably have to come to you.
But one thing is very important, Kiran, when you go to Anish and you know him so well, take him not as a friend, take him as a therapist.
हाँ जी जी जी
Open up
जी जी
gently with him.
जी
Because
बहुत
then he
शुक्रिया
will be able to help you out, not otherwise.
हाँ जी thank
I
you
think you
thank you
can
so much
go. I can recommend you can go to my teacher, who
No,
is
no,
Dr.
no, no,
Sandeep
no,
Patil.
Anish, please handle her. You will be able to do it.
I
Yes.
have
well
a
anyway
Yes, yes, please. Yes, come forward. Yeah.
yes, like I'm a mother of two, like 12 and 14. So like when you said this abuse, even when we shout, it's abuse. So I have been doing it actually. Like, can you tip us like how to be a better parent? Like at least shouting, like it is still there. And when children don't listen, so so I'm actually giving them a trauma, like as a parent. So this is also a form of abuse. So like some tip on this, like how to.
I didn't get your name. Can I have your name because you are not Google?
Okay, I'm Sylvia Fernandez. No, the thing is, I just signed in
Mrs.
from my.
Fernandez. In childhood, and as a mother, you have to understand a concept of reverse psychology. Reverse psychology is, you would have seen, when your children were too young, say about 3 years old, as I said, 3 to 5 years, when the child is trying to learn and do things self. There is a general tendency to put the finger inside a electric plug. How do we react? How do you
go
react?
back
Yeah,
What do you say? What do you say?
I'm protective, like so I'll ask them to stay back from that.
Okay. Again, that is where the problem is. The moment you directly say no, their anxiety increases. Why I am being said no? Now I will do it more.
Oh,
If you say in the manner, listen, okay, no problem, put your finger inside, and when you will get a shock, you will get hurt. You will feel that electric shock, and then you will start crying. Now go and put your finger in. Number one, let them put the finger in and let them experience that shock. Then only their anxiety will get removed, otherwise not. They will remain anxious. So we have to use a reverse psychology. If you remember just now, when I was doing this exercise, what did I say? Your eyes are closed and they are relaxed, and more your eyes are relaxed, you will not be able to open them up, because I don't want you to open the eyes.
oh,
I'm putting the onus on you only and not me. Instead of saying don't open the eyes, your anxiety will increase. Why is he asking us not to open the eyes? You remember? So we always have to use a reverse psychology, and the same reverse psychology we are using in children to tell them that, listen, don't do it. If you say directly, their anxiety increases and they want to do it. So as you have said, don't shout. Make them explain that why you don't want them to do it, or what they are doing is wrong, why it is wrong. Because even shouting is a child abuse,
yeah.
and that creates an impact later in the life. My mother had been shouting always, all throughout my childhood. This is the impression they are going to carry about the mother. My mother is bad.
Yeah.
He shouts. Right? So change your tone, change your words. Very important. The child has to be handled very delicately, like a crystal ball. Yes.
Thank you.
Diksha, you have something? We can't hear you, Sweksha.
Sir, by that time I can ask you a question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So you just touched on OCD, sir, obsessive compulsive disorder.
Yes.
So I wanted to know what are the causes. Obviously, it has to do with some that person has experienced before.
Yes.
And how do we control it with hypnotherapy?
Again, Anish, we have to take the client to that event. You know what happened, due to which OCD developed. And then replay that event in a more positive way. Right?
Right, sir. And do we need multiple sessions, because it cannot be like one event, can be
It all
multiple
depends.
events?
No, I think OCD can be done in one event. Because
Okay,
we're
sir.
handling one event, one reason for that at that time.
Right, sir.
Yeah. Sweksha, you are not audible. Put your mic on. Yes, try.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. We can hear you. Be more louder.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Thank you, sir. It's wonderful session. Sir, I experienced my... Hello? Hello?
Audible,
Yeah, we
Sweksha?
can hear you. आप थोड़ा सा और जोर के बोलिए, आ रही है आपकी आवाज.
Your voice is not coming. There's some problem.
Sir, now I'm audible.
Yeah.
Sir, it's wonderful experience. I experienced the day when I passed my 12th class.
Yeah.
And it's the happiest moment of my life. Actually, I passed the 12th with wonderful marks, and my whole family members enjoying. I experienced the moment, me and my brother dancing on the floor to wear the goggle, and me and my whole the family enjoying with celebrating the moment to eating the kulfi, and that's the happiest moment of my life. I always proud of that moment. But now, sir, the condition is that I am too rigid with myself.
Okay, good. Keep it up.
Sir, I am too rigid. Like you are a student, you can't go anywhere with your friend, and I'm become too rigid with myself. I force myself. You can't go anywhere. You can't wear something like means that look being good. So, sir, it's creates sometimes anxiety to me. I mean, I make some hectic schedule. Sometimes I'm preparing for a competitive exam. Sometimes I make a hectic schedule, and when that not complete by me, and I feel so anxiety. Sir, how to overcome for them?
Vinita, you have to really work on that, that why that anxiety is there, which is not allowing you. So get in touch with Anish. Anish will help you out in that thing. Yeah, Vinita, you raised your hand, Vinita. Can we hear you? Are you there, Vinita?
I think she is not there, or maybe her mic is not working.
Okay.
Till then, can I ask you something, sir?
Sure. Why not?
Sir, I was asking that these situations that we are seeing right now in youth, why are these being spotted at this time? Were they not present in the older times? Or were they, but their solutions were there? What is the problem now with the youth?
Now with the youth is, the times are changing. Life 15 years back was different to life what is now. There are so many options open to the youth today, which were not there at that time. Even in the education, you see, in our times, we used to have only physics, chemistry, and maths. Either you go to the non-science or you go to the science, or you go to the medical. But today, so many other options have got open up. So the youth has really got confused because this is the transition stage that youth is passing through. Even the families are passing through the transition stage. From a very old conservative family style, now we are going through a very passive style. It's totally in an open environment now. So it always takes time for us to adapt to a new system, new technology, new environment, new surroundings. Today, the youth does not talk to the parents. They think that we can only ourselves do it.
Right.
And they're not getting the right atmosphere to be properly coached that what they are doing is right or wrong.
Absolutely.
And today the media has become the worst enemy because everybody depends on Google Mata.
Right.
So the smallest thing
That is true.
you download. And on Google you get all sort of information. You get good information, you get bad information. And it becomes difficult to decide which one to pick up, which is right and which is wrong. So we are passing through a great transition stage.
And that is the reason we are spotting more and more problems these days.
Yes, exactly. That is the reason. And secondly, we are again, the biggest hurdle and the problem is that we are moving from HUF to the nuclear family. Previously, Hindu undivided family used to be a good coaching ground for the children. We are in nuclear now. There is nobody to give us the information. We are self-dependent.
Right.
And that is the worst problem, that we are becoming too rigid, or we want to do things our way.
I'm getting it, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Are there any more questions?
Prati has a question,
Okay, Prati, please go on.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Sir, I have this question that youth these days include isolated and alone. They don't want to join the family function, don't want to. What is the reason for that?
You tell me, why do you think so, that one should be alone, and why shouldn't one be with the family members, understand them? Then I'll give you the answer. Let me hear from you. Why do you think so? We can't hear you, Karthik.
Prarthi, you can come online. Are you hearing us?
There's some network issue with her, I think.
I think so.
Okay, then I think any other last one or two questions? I'm there. Yes, Parul.
Sir, question I want to repeat.
So actually, it is Divyansh who is asking the question.
But it says Paruloke. Divyansh, tell me.
There is nothing like revenge, but every time I just listen that I have a dream of being a celebrity, and then my father used to ask, "Why do you want to become celebrity? Just study, study, study." Then that all led me to every time that why it's everything.
So have you discussed this with your father, that why does he want you to always study and not be a celebrity? Did you
I shared because
it?
I was very much
So you need to have a heart-to-heart communication with your father. Make him understand that why you think what you are doing is, because unless you do of your interest, you won't find interest in the studies. So you have to be very clear with your father, make him understand that what is your plan? How do you want to achieve success in your life?
Sir, it's a question of
We can't hear you, Divyansh.
yes, sir.
Yeah, it is a question of what?
Sir, I had a very strong head. I had a frustration that one day I was having an enjoyment in my relative's house that yes, we are celebrating Diwali, and at that time, receptionist called on the father's number that your son hasn't scored well. Rather, I was scoring well in school, so I was just like getting confused. I'd rather to report to school or to report to the institution tuition itself, like in the basis of the push to study, and because of that time schedule, I was every time I was like a television and a phone using voice, so I was trying to get slowly get social in terms of sports.
You have to set your priorities, because just celebrity and no studies also doesn't help. At least some basic degrees are necessary in life, because you may not know. Today you're talking of thinking from the celebrity angle. Tomorrow, suppose that doesn't go through. And if you have some educational background, then at least in times of emergency that can help you. So start thinking from that angle also.
I'm not able to.
This is your choice.
Yes, sir.
This is your choice.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, Rima, you have a question?
Sir.
Hello. Good evening, sir, and good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
So it was really a wonderful session, and I really enjoyed it a lot and experienced a lot. But sir, here I want to go with Shiksha's questions. That is about the student life.
Yeah.
Like sir, she's asking like, is everyone everyone as a student life do the same? Like everyone is rigid in their life, like he should not do this or he should do this or not. Sir, I don't know about all the students, but I want to share something. Like as a student, we have a lots of pressure, like for our career, future, and study exams a lot. But I think we should study a lot. We should study, but we should live in present. Like if we want to do something, we should do it. Like spending time with friends. Like this is the time present. There should be no regret. Like there should be no regret, like in future, like we didn't did this or we should do those things we want to do, like dancing, or means for the study only. We should not compromise our present too. With the study, we should do all these things. This is
Reema, you have the answer yourself. You are answering your own question, what the other participant had. That means you know that you have to compromise with all the activities and you have to
yes,
balance
sir.
them out.
Yes, sir.
So do it. It is a good thought.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, then I think it's time for us to call off. Thank you very much for giving a patient listening and participating, and take the best use of what we have done
Thank you.
today.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. It was really
Thank you.
our
Thank you, sir.
privilege to have you.
Exactly, sir. We really loved your session. And it's time to call off. So basically, we have the Instagram page link in the chat box. You can visit our page from there. And if you have any more feedback and questions, you can drop that in the WhatsApp group that we have made. Sir, maybe we can request sir to answer them in the group itself if we will have some questions. And that's it for this session. Please be a part of that group. You will get regular updates about the future sessions in that group as well. So thank you everyone for being.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Time.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.